Today is another push day, and this workout has a theme that matters in the gym and outside the gym too. A lot of progress does not look exciting when it's happening. It looks like repeating good basics, sticking with the plan, and doing solid work even when it does not feel dramatic. And that can be frustrating. Most of us like to feel like every workout should be some huge breakthrough, but body changes usually come from more steady work than from big moments. This workout is a good example of that. So if you're ready, let's begin. A lot of people want progress to feel obvious. They want every workout to feel stronger, leaner, sharper, and more impressive than the last one. But that usually is not how it goes. A lot of growth comes from workouts that look pretty normal on paper. Not bad, not average, just normal. And that is fine because muscle does not care if the workouts look exciting. It cares whether the work is good. First up is the barbell incline bench press. I got 165 pounds for 10, 9, and 8 reps. This is still one of my better upper chest builders. The incline angle helps shift more attention to the upper chest than a flat bench does, while still letting me use enough load to make the sets count. It also brings in the front delts a bit more, which is not a bad thing as long as the angle does not get so high that the movement turns more into a shoulder press. After that, I moved to a dumbbell bench press with the 75s and got 11, 12, and 11 reps. I like dumbbells here because each side has to do its own work. You cannot hide one side behind the other as easily as you can with a barbell. They also tend to give a little more freedom in the path of the press, which can feel better on the shoulders for some people. For many lifters, dumbbells also allow a deeper stretch at the bottom. And that can be useful, but only if you stay in control. More range of motion is good. Turning the bottom of the rep into a shoulder experiment is not. These felt strong, and getting 12 in the middle was a nice little reminder that progress is not always perfectly neat either. Sometimes the best set is set 2. The body likes to keep things interesting. Then it was cable standing horizontal chest flies. I used 60 pounds for 15, 15, and then 13 reps. This is a nice movement because it trains one of the main jobs of the chest, which is bringing the upper arm across the body. Presses are great, but flies let the chest do more of that direct squeezing work. I also like cables here because tension stays on the muscle throughout most of the rep. With dumbbells, tension can fall off in certain parts of the movement. With cables, the pecs usually have to stay engaged longer. This is not a movement here where I'm trying to impress anybody with the load. I'm trying to make the chest work. Those are not always the same thing. If a fly starts looking like I'm trying to launch myself backward across the room, I have probably missed the point. That is another reason basic work matters. You do not need every exercise to look intense from the outside. A lot of the best training is not very dramatic. It is just targeted, controlled, and repeated often enough to matter. Next came lying dumbbell lateral raises with the 12.5 for 15 reps on all 3 sets. This variation changes the feel of the movement compared to standing lateral raises. It can make the side delts work through a slightly different resistance curve, and sometimes that is enough to help the muscle feel the set more clearly. If your goal includes building wider looking shoulders, side delt work matters a lot. Building side delts help create more shoulder width, and that changes your overall look, even if the actual dumbbells in your hands do not look impressive. That is one of the funniest things in training. A person can swing around 40-pound dumbbells with awful form and look strong for 5 seconds. Or they can use 12.5-pound dumbbells correctly and quietly and make more progress. The delts are not handing out awards for ego lifting. After that, I did dumbbell upright rows with 60 pounds, 30 pounds in each hand, for 13, 13, and 14 reps. This movement can be useful for the delts and the upper traps, but it is also one of those exercises where setup matters. Some people do not tolerate upright rows very well, especially if the elbows come too high or the shoulders feel cramped. One of the reasons I like doing this with dumbbells instead of a barbell is to give my shoulder more flexibility in the movement, get less of that impingement going on. These felt good, and I was happy with the reps. Getting 14 on the last set is always a nice touch too. It's like the body waited until the end to admit it had a little more in the tank. Then I moved to barbell close grip bench press. I used 140 pounds for 12 reps and 9 reps, and then I used 135 pounds for 8 reps. This is a good compound lift for the triceps, while still getting help from the chest and the shoulders. It lets you load the triceps harder than you usually could on smaller isolation movements, which is one reason it stays useful. Close grip does not mean your hands need to be right on top of each other. Usually a grip just inside your normal bench press grip works better. Too narrow and the setups can start to feel awkward on the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. By this point of the workout, some fatigue had built up, so the reps dropped off. That's normal. Not every set is supposed to feel fresh. Sometimes the point is to keep producing good effort after some of the easy energy is gone. I finished with cable V-bar tricep pushdowns using 60 pounds for 15 reps, 15 reps, and then 9 reps. At that stage, the triceps had already worked through all the pressing, so they were pretty well cooked. Pushdowns are simple, but they still are easy to mess up. A lot of people turn them into a whole body movement with hips, shoulders, momentum, and a prayer. While prayers are important, you should try to keep some of that other stuff out of it. I try to keep the upper arms fairly steady and let the elbow do what it's supposed to do. That helps keep the work on the triceps instead of spreading it elsewhere. A full lockout helps too, as long as the movement stays controlled. The big drop in the last set tells me the triceps were done arguing. Sometimes the final set gives very honest feedback. So that was the workout. Not flashy, not full of gimmicks. Just a good push day with quality exercises, solid effort, and enough volume to get useful work done. I think that matters, because a lot of progress is built exactly like this. It is built through workouts that do not look dramatic enough for a movie montage. They just keep moving things forward. That could be hard to appreciate when you are in the middle of it. If your progress feels slow right now, that does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes it just means the work is doing its job in the background. Well, until next time, have a great day.